Friday. Happy holidays. Thank you for joining me, everybody. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $129 Cash App, stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for your time. This commentary is coming out of Florida, Kissimmee, Florida. Some craziness went down at a hotel, motel. This lady is lucky to be alive. Let's get down to business. Thank you for your time.
As the severity of the situation, I'm like, oh my God, these people came in here to hurt us.
Right now at 6, a pregnant woman stabbed at a motel in Kissimmee. Deputies say a pizza delivery driver did it. Tonight, Fox 35 is speaking exclusively with a woman stabbed 14 times in front of her own little girl. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Manny Martinez.
Good evening. I'm Hannah McKenzie. Deputies say a bad tip is what led to that stabbing. And as Fox 35's Marie Edinger reports, says she's scared she'll be attacked again as deputies continue searching for a second suspect involved.
The woman who was attacked said that her food arrived late, it was cold, and the delivery driver was rude, so she only gave a $2 tip. She did not think that would land her in a hospital bed.
It's pretty traumatic.
Melinda Irizarry, her boyfriend, and her 5-year-old daughter were at this motel in Kissimmee Sunday, hanging out, having a staycation for her boyfriend's birthday. A little before midnight, she says she heard someone pounding on the door. That's when deputies say a man and woman forced their way in.
Once I realized the severity of the situation, I'm like, oh my God, these people came in here to hurt us.
According to an arrest report, the man pointed a gun at her daughter, then forced her boyfriend into the bathroom at gunpoint. The woman took out a knife.
It wasn't like she was just upset. It was like she was in a frenzy mode.
At the hospital, Irizarry discovered it wasn't just her life at risk. Doctors told her she's about a month pregnant.
And I started crying, and I kept telling my boyfriend, I think I'm going to die.
Irizarry needed over 200 staples for slices across her arms, her wrists, her shoulders, her back, her stomach, her breast. 14 stab wounds in total. She needed surgeries for a punctured lung and severed tendons in her knee.
My daughter seeing that whole thing, it kind of is pretty heartbreaking to me.
It wasn't until later Irizarry and detectives realized that woman was allegedly the pizza driver who'd gotten upset about a small tip earlier in the night, Brianna Alvello. Detectives say they found surveillance video linking her to the crime and arrested her on a warrant the next day. The thing is, Irizarry doesn't think this was about money in the end.
You got me. My boyfriend told you where there was more money, and you didn't go get it.
And now, no amount of money could get Alvello out of the situation she's in.
You're not going to be out.
She's facing charges for aggravated assault, kidnapping, home invasion, and charged under the same statute that covers premeditated murder.
States believe is a punishable by life offense.
But in the meantime, the man deputies say was with Alvello is still out there. That terrorizes Irizarry.
I am scared, and he knows exactly how he looks. He stared at that man for how long with a gun pointed to his head. I want them to get him as soon as possible because they're monsters. They should not be out in the street.
Irizarry's doctors have not given her an update as to when she'll be able to leave the hospital, and she's got a long road ahead. She says she has to learn to walk again after her knee surgery, so she'll be dealing with this for quite some time. In Osceola County, Marie Edinger.
Should not be out in the street.
Wow. What a story, everyone. Welcome to the Vault XL. Let's get down to business. This lady here is pregnant, 1 month. Did she know she was pregnant at the time of the stabbing? She also says that she believes it's more than about the money. Then enlighten us, ma'am, what you think about. What are you trying to say? These people were sent there? What are you trying to say? Your boyfriend knows this lady? That wouldn't make any sense if you all ordered the pizza. You'd have to be saying that your boyfriend knew her. I'm just throwing this out there because these are her words, that it was more than the money. Then what else could it be about? You just think they rob you? She's using her job to rob people? Does the female, was she doing this through Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash, or she actually worked for the pizza company? Who is the pizza company? What is their name? They're going to be under scrutiny now. They'll be sued by this lady, I'm sure. She has a good lawsuit, especially if the driver works for a pizza company. Okay? So what's really going on? Yes, I noticed she has some tattoos. I hadn't paid attention that they were gang related. But the point still remains, a person would have to know that she's in the hotel. That's what I'm saying. Make it make sense. And then, two, what are the odds that the rival gang member would work at the pizza place where you work? Of course, they could see the tattoos on her face naturally when they stand there at the door. So is this about a $2 tip? What's the truth? I don't know. 1 month pregnant, $2 tip allegedly. Then she says she don't think it's about the tip. I'm going to tell you where this story makes no sense. Florida is Florida, okay? Just like anywhere in the United States. You cannot assume that something bad won't happen to you by opening your door. So let me go there. Let me go there. Why are you opening the door anytime in a motel? It's a motel. It's not the Ritz-Carlton. It's not the Four Seasons. And you're not recommended to open the door in those places because people are on the hustle tip 24/7. There are people who get out of bed every day on the hustle. Rob, steal, assault, unalive. So no matter where you go, you need to be on guard. So help the queen understand why you would open your door in a damn motel, on a vacay stay, whatever you want to call it, to complete strangers when you have a window to look out of. You have a peephole to look out of. So if there's no peephole, you still have your window. Checkmate. So I'm going to say it again, Miss Lady. Why did you open the door? You have children in your hotel room, and you're going to open the door to a complete stranger that bum rushed you, robbed you, assaulted you. Male put a gun to your boyfriend's head, asked for money. Your boyfriend allegedly told him where there's more money. I'm not getting ready to tell you where there's more money. I ain't getting ready to give you more than what the hell you came for, looking for, or whatever your reason is for being here. I'm trying to get you out of here. So the more I say I ain't got nothing, I want you out of here. Stay woke, everybody. But once again, as they say, when you're in a stressful situation, different people say different things to the assailant. Two people, $2 tip. So did the lady tell her, hey, this all you're going to pay me? This all you're going to give me? Before returning to assault this woman and man. What were the children doing? The child doing? Crying, screaming? Obviously, the people in there didn't care. And she's sitting in court looking stupid, like, oh, murder? Attempted murder? What? Life in prison? What? Yeah, because Florida has stiff laws about assault, obviously. And everybody knows that's the wrong state to do anything in. Especially when it comes to sexual assault, aggravated assault, kidnapping, and those are your charges. You got kidnapping charges. Why in the world would you risk your livelihood over a $2 tip? I've done deliveries before. I've shared these few experiences with you all here on this network. Last year was my last year doing rideshare services. The year before that, I had done delivery services, and it's all a headache. There's always a complaint. So let me enlighten you on a short story. A lady ordered a pizza. I delivered it. She had a problem with how late it was. See, I could have been ignorant and said to her, ma'am, you live out here in the middle of nowhere. You are out here in the sticks. I got lost trying to find where you are because naturally GPS does not work sometimes when you are out in rural areas. And that's what people who are ordering food need to understand about ordering food and you're out in the middle of no fucking where. You're also in a place where there's no lights on the streets because you're in the county. So you need to think about that when you're ordering food. You are not close to town where the food is. You don't know how many other deliveries the person has. So when you complain about the food being late, you need to use common sense. One, you're in the middle of nowhere. Two, you don't know how many deliveries the person had before bringing you your food. They may have had 3 stops, 2 stops. One stop could be halfway across town. Then you're all the way out in the fucking county. So you don't know how far the person had to drive to get to you to bring you your food. And they do the deliveries in a certain order. Take your lazy ass and pick up your own food. Yeah, Queen gonna go there today. Because somebody needs to hear this. Now, I'm not saying what really happened in this situation. I'm only going by the information given. Because once again, everything's a version. But a lot of people need to get off their lazy ass and go get their food when they get off from work. You know you live out in the middle of nowhere. You cannot expect food to get to your house and you call it in at 6:10. And you're expecting the food to be what? Standing at your door at what? 6:20? 6:25? And you live out in bumfuck Egypt. Come on now. You're out in the middle of nowhere. And you want food at your door in 15 minutes. And you might literally be 20 to 30 minutes from the location of where the food is being made. So you got to think of the orders. How many people ordering food before you? The order the person got the food, the pickup. How far they had to drive to take it to you. Traffic. Are you serious? So I explained to the lady, ma'am, you're out in the middle, you're in a desolate area. GPS wasn't working properly. I said, I've been riding around in circles trying to find your address. I don't even see a street. And she says, oh, there's a street sign out there. So when I drive back out, in the dark, of course, I'm looking for the street sign. Where's the street sign, ma'am? Down the street? It's down the street. Where is it? You have a long drive to your house. Don't see it. Another thing out in that area where I was, they'll have split driveways that don't even tell you the direction of the street or anything. For instance, you might drive in somebody's driveway. Little do you know there's another road beside that that's an actual street, but you can't tell because it's dark. That happened on another trip out there in the middle of nowhere, in no man's land. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that other drive is my street. Oh, what house are you at? And then you're explaining the house. Oh, well, just pull out of there and then jump on that little road next to it. That's a street. I said, it doesn't look like a street. Looks like a driveway. Oh, yeah, they built the street behind this house, blah, blah, blah. People don't really know what it entails in doing delivery work. But I don't recommend getting heated with the people, even when they complain. Because I've had maybe 2 people complain, such as another lady. She complained about the food being late. Once again, you're living almost in the Smoky Mountains. Are you serious? You're in the middle of nowhere, no reception. Once again, no reception to text you to tell you, oh, I'm on my way. It's going to be late, blah, blah, blah. It's time for you people to start ordering your food on your journey. I'm just keeping it real. Because you cannot live in the middle of nowhere and expect food at your door in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't work like that. You should know that. You're all the way out of the general city limit. And what I mean is one lady who lived way out, I had to walk way up these stairs to this old dusty ass cabin house she had. Dog was running amok. You don't know if you're going to get ate up. That's another thing. Letting the dogs run out the fucking door, pit bulls and shit. You're lucky a person even shows up. I'm keeping it real. Now, I'm not condoning what happened to this lady. This was wrong. But what I'm saying is, your attitude is why she came back. Now, she may have came back even if you were nice and gave the $2 tip. Because you can't predict what people are going to do. But I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have said nothing. If you are upset about how long it's taking to get your food, then all you have to do is call and cancel and order somewhere else. That's all you have to do. That's your discretion. It's the same with ordering a Lyft, an Uber. They're taking too long, then cancel it. Naturally, you're going to have to pay for it. But if you're in a hurry and you're trying to get somewhere or wherever you're trying to go, it is up to you to cancel. You don't have to wait on a ride. You do not have to wait on the food. It's the same thing if you go to the restaurant. You're sitting there, you're looking at your clock, you've been there 15 minutes, nobody's come to your table. All you have to do is get up. Remove yourself. You don't have to pull out a knife, you don't have to pull out a gun, you don't have to come back to look for the store manager to stab them. You see where I'm going? This incident here is very bizarre because we live in a time of crime and unstable people. So if you know that you've already been complaining to the driver when she showed up with the pizza, why in the hell would you open your door to the same person? Stay woke, everybody. Why would you open the door to the same person? Why would you open the door at all to a stranger? Help Queen understand, because I'm literally confused. Why you would open your door almost midnight to a complete stranger. It don't make no sense.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how.
See this lady in court. Lord have mercy. Mess. What a mess, mess, mess.
Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Brianna Alvelo.
At 22 years old, Brianna Alvelo could spend the rest of her life behind bars. She's accused of making a pizza delivery turned violent.
State believes that this is a punishable by life offense. There should be no bond set, and it should not be set for a pretrial detention hearing.
Osceola County Sheriff's Office says on Sunday evening, someone staying at the Rivera Motel in Kissimmee ordered pizza. Detectives claim Alvelo delivered the pizza to the person, but she was not happy with her tip.
I do find that there is probable cause.
Investigators say Alvelo came back to the motel room, this time with a man who had a gun. They say the two of them forced their way into the room, and then Alvelo used a knife to stab the victim several times.
And I've never heard of nothing like that. I had 3 kids, but it's good to know because I'll always be aware.
The woman is also accused of stealing things from the room. She is facing charges of home invasion, attempted murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault.
I go to you, don't trust nobody, no matter what, where they are.
Deputies are looking for the armed man who was with Alvelo.
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you, Ms. Alvelo.
Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
This is the young lady that did the stabbing. Bum rush the lady in the hotel with another man. Who is the other man? Boyfriend, friend, cousin, brother? Is she gang related? Since somebody threw that out in the chat. Is the woman who stabbed, is she gang related? Is that boyfriend gang related? The other victim? Are all these people gang related? I don't know. Is it just about a $2 tip? Because stab wounds, pulling a gun out on someone, all this happening in front of a child. They also stole things from the room. She stole things. What is this? I'll show you. What's that old saying? The old street saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. Indeed. You did show her. But look at the aftermath. You're now going to stay in jail. You're not going to get a bond. More than likely, you can't afford a bond with all those charges. But I don't know. You might have a rich granddaddy. Hey, who knows? This is what you don't want on the street right here. This little cookie here. You definitely don't want this little badass mean girl on the street because she won't make it to trial. She'll be locked up again if she had made bond. She makes bond. So who is the male? Sir, where are you? On the run? Because they're going to try you as well. You're going to be charged as well. Somebody's probably going to throw your name out there because people know who you hang with, who you rock with. Somebody who knows are going to say, oh, yeah, that's Carlos, that's such and such, that's Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba. And they'll be looking for you, an active warrant. Oh, for some foolishness for an alleged $2 tip. Bad attitudes by both parties. See, that's why I keep telling you one thing begets another. You have to be careful what you say on your tongue all the time. As you know, doing this up here, somebody can get mad at something you said. Could be the truth, my truth, but doesn't mean they agree. It's the way it is. Now we want to sue. Now we want to beat them up. Now we want to find you. You don't know people. Once again, blind trust. Show up, deliver the pizza. She gives you the tip. You got an attitude. Did you say something to the lady? Little badass. Did you say something to the lady? Hey, this all you're going to pay me? You only give me $2 because I'm late? Did you tell her, hey, I had other deliveries. Hey, I had to come a long way. Did you say anything? What did this lady say to her victim? I don't know. What all did the victim say? Because, people can get really right when they're hungry. They get right when they're not hungry. Damn, it took you this long. Where the hell you been? Woo, 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 woo. Oh, yeah, she done got heated, especially if the victim talk crazy. Because, what you say in that hospital bed in front of a camera, you ain't going to really tell us everything you said to this lady here. I'm just keeping it real. But the law says, don't matter what the driver said, didn't say, vice versa. You all are supposed to act accordingly. But that's not the real world now, is it? Somebody talks junk to you, you're supposed to just walk away. Well, if you don't want to end up in penitentiary or dead, sometimes you got to let it be. Don't know, Rhonda. Rhonda don't matter what she wanted. You can't make somebody give you the tip. Trust me, I know, as I've shared with you just now, experiences doing deliveries, I stopped doing it because it wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth my health, my sanity, and it wasn't worth the wear and tear on my car. Although I drove an economy-sized car to do the deliveries, it's not the point. I don't want to tear up my shit in the middle of nowhere. Then too, as I said, I live in white America, and I lived in places that Black people did not live, to my knowledge, and I ain't trying to find out the hard way being stranded in the middle of nowhere. Especially in places that you have people who probably don't even like Black people. You got to use common sense when you're out here in the jobs that you do. See, everybody is trying to make money. But see, one thing that people don't understand about quick money, there's ramifications of quick money. It's no different than being in the street selling dope, doing deliveries. Yeah, I said that. And some of you are going to be like, damn, Queen, that's a hell of a comparison. No, not really. Look at all the stories you keep hearing of people who do deliveries, how the shit jumps off. You all are killing the mailmen, mail women. They're retaliating. The FedEx drivers, UPS drivers are dumping packages. I need to bring you a story about that. Okay? It's getting serious out here. Lady said she was too stressed, so she dumped the FedEx packages. Now we got somebody getting mad over $2 tip. She came back. She didn't stab her right then. She must have clocked out from work and came back. Now, what does the company have to say about their little cookie here? Damn, you done fucked us up. Now they're going to sue us. Hell yeah, she going to sue you. And she going to get paid too. So besides all her 14 stab wounds, the other lady, her broken knee, this and that, she get ready to get a payday. Watch what I tell you. She won't have to worry about staying in a motel for a vacation stay. She can go afford the Four Seasons, the Ritz-Carlton, all because of this little goofball right here. But the flip side is, I don't know what that other lady said to her. She may have been really nasty when this young lady showed up to the door. She might have got really right with her. Damn, how long it took. I ordered that 40 minutes ago, an hour ago. You just now getting here? It's cold now. I want a refund. See, we don't really know because we're not there. And as I told you, people are not going to tell you the truth of what they said after they done got stabbed, shot. Nobody wants to own, yeah, I was a bitch. Just keeping it real. Because it's one person's word against the other. She should have never went back. That's the point. No matter what was said about the food being late, you, ma'am, should have chalked it up and said, fuck this job. Let me find me something else to do. Because that's the gamble you take in being a delivery driver. There's no guarantee you're going to get the tip that you want or you think you deserve. For all we know, everybody had attitude. She had a bad attitude. Rough night. The lady receiving the pizza, rough night. Wow, wow, wow. Weigh in. Facing life in prison with all those charges. All over a pizza. Who was the male? Did they know these people? Is this personal? What's the truth? Don't know. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Happy Friday, everybody. Did you all get in the stores and do some shopping today? Find you some goodies. Queen has not been back out to go anywhere to get any more shopping. I won't be doing any more shopping for a while. Been watching a lot of crazy stuff. As you can see, my history here on YouTube. Tenants in NYC building fed up with the conditions. There's a rat crawling across the floor the size of a possum in somebody's living room. I thought I was going to die today when I watched that video. I was like, what is that? That rat was huge. Let's take a look. Wow, wow, wow. Let's get down to business, everybody. Shut your mouth. Just going over news stories. Jay-Z, his case will press forward in the courts, and the woman can remain anonymous, who is claiming sexual assault by him and Sean Puffy Combs from an alleged incident in 2000.
Not a toy or CGI special effects, but a real live big rat crawling across the living room of a six.
Look at the size of that rat. Somebody in the bottom of the video said, that's a cat, size of a cat. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, Satan. If you got a rat that size and he's made his way into your house, it is time to get out. And when I mean get out, I mean walk out the door with just the clothes on your back. I said that.
6th floor apartment at 655 Berg Avenue in the Bronx.
Rats in the hallway, garbage in the hallway.
And that's just the beginning. Long list of problems, according to the fed-up tenants here, who held a news conference Wednesday. They're pleading for someone to put pressure on the building owner and or property manager, identified by them as Michael Cohn, to make things right.
There's no ground.
For starters, they want their landlord to fix the lack of consistent heat, hot water.
Michael Cohen, is that C-O-H-E-N, Jewish man? Sir, what's your problem? See, this is why people are leaving northern states, eastern states. That's a rug stuck up in there. I just realized what this is, because that's the rubber side of the rug. Somebody has climbed up there and stuck a rug in the hole to keep it from leaking. What the F is going on here? 6th floor walk up. 6 floors to walk up to carry your groceries, your personal items, furniture, back down the stairs to empty the trash if there's not a trash chute on the floor. Check the mail, go about your daily business. Deliveries, 6 floors. So now imagine FedEx, UPS having to deliver your package up 6 flights, 5 flights. Now we got rats the size of kitty cats crawling in your house. Well, look at that hole. That's a hole and an avenue for a rat to come down. If you didn't know, rats can climb up and down pipes, walls. They're very crafty. They can squeeze in the smallest of a hole. Funny, I see this story today, and I was just joking with my maintenance man today when I was taking my trash out. He's from New York. He heard me make a comment about rats in the hall because I was saying, people can't be putting trash in the hallway. So he said, oh, is there trash on your floor? I said, no. I said, but you know, they've been leaving it out, leaving it by the trash compactor door when it's not open yet. And that draws in mice, vermin. So he was, making a joke like, what's wrong with New York? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with New York. I'm just speaking of a story I saw, which is this story here. Because I live in an apartment building and people are dropping stuff. Dogs peeing, boo-booing. They ain't making it out the door in time to walk the dog, so the dog is using the bathroom, hallways, elevators, all that type of nonsense. This is why apartment living sucks. This is why. Bad tenants, lazy tenants, Mangy landlord won't fix stuff. That's a whole rug stuck up in there. So how the hell did they even climb up there to get it up in there? Or it came from the person's apartment above. Shut your mouth. I'm dead.
Water and cooking gas in this privately owned building.
We have a girl upstairs, only 6 years old, coughing because the apartments are so cold.
This is the hot plate that he gave us to cook with. It doesn't work, but we've been without gas since June 10th.
But tenants, many of whom are seniors and or disabled.
You've been without gas since June 10th. June? Are you all hearing this? You gotta have gas to help heat water, to have hot water. For those of you who pay gas bills. That's why I hate living in northern eastern cities. They run off of gas, not electric. Shit pisses me off. For heat, rather. You have electric for, electricity, your lights, but gas for your heat your water. Bad business. So they've been without heat since June. So all of June, you've been taking what? Cold showers. It's now winter. It's a wonder all of you aren't in ICU with pneumonia. Then she says they gave a hot plate. The hot plate don't work. Do you know that these things are the main reasons why people in major cities' apartments catch on fire? Is using hot plates 24 hours a day. Do you know how many people don't pay their gas bill? It gets turned off. They use these things here. These things catch fire from overuse. This is terrible.
Say there's no excuse for being consistently forced to rely on kitchen hot plates or the stairs in this 6th floor walk-up.
Oh my God.
There appears to be a good reason why the elevator doesn't come all the way up to the 6th floor. In our text,
there's an elevator.
Cone, he insisted the heat is working and that it was never a problem, and then ordered us to stop reporting fake news. But records from the Department of Housing Preservation and Development directly contradict Cohen's claims that everything is just fine. In fact, HPD has more than 300 complaints and violations on file for this one building just within the last few years alone.
The
bare minimum. The bare minimum. Just some peace so we could cook.
Extra.
In the Bronx, J. Dow, Pix 11 News.
Mr. Cohen, are you going to fix the problems? You see, people like Mr. Cohen are allowed to become wealthy off the backs of working people, middle-class people, because these people don't have nowhere else to go. They stay for whatever reason, and a lot of people judge people, but what you don't seem to understand is the obvious. Everybody don't have money to just go move, okay? It costs to move. One, you've got to have a deposit for the next place. Most people want first and maybe last month's rent, especially living in a major city. They want to get all their money to get you in there. Then you got to pray you're moving somewhere that's nice and decent and the landlord's going to fix stuff. Okay? You got to move your electricity bills, gas, to the next place. That's money. You got to reroute your cable, your Wi-Fi to the next place. You got to pay somebody to move you. And imagine moving into this dump and got to walk up all these flights of stairs with all your furniture, your goodies, and they got a whole damn elevator that don't work. I didn't think they had an elevator. Have an elevator. Yes, third world country, exactly. Welcome everybody to the Bronx. Thank you for joining me. What about last year when the building caved in? Remember that? I brought you that content. Partial building just fell to the ground in New York City. Thank God most of the people who lived on that end, they were gone at work. But that building could have fallen while they were sleeping in their beds. God is good. He favored them. Hopefully they have got a lump sum of money, those who lost their apartments to that building caving in. These buildings are old. These buildings have been around before Queen was born. New York City is an old city. They got these tall ass buildings that have been around damn near 100 years or more. You have to go in and redo things. You can't assume, well, it's a brick building, it's going to keep standing. Not at 100 years old. No, no, ma'am. No, sir. You saw what happened in Florida years ago when that high-rise fell to the ground. Salt water eating away at the foundation, and it collapsed and people died. So imagine a 40-year-old building falling down versus something that's 100 years old. Say, well, no way. It's going to keep standing up. And we're going to hear more and more of these stories in New York and other major cities if these people don't go in and spend the money to rehab the building. You can't keep putting paint over paint, paint over paint. You got to go in and redo piping, wiring, drywall, the brick itself. You're talking about a lot of weight to try to hold up. It's just an assumption. Oh, it'll keep standing. But obviously it doesn't. I think it was St. Louis or somewhere out there, Kansas City. What was it, 2 years or so ago when that building fell? And that building probably wasn't as old as this one here. So if a 40-year-old building can fall, you know damn well a 90-year-old building, a 100-year-old building plus can fall. And then it's not safe because there are holes in the walls, there's leaks. As I said, you got to redo the piping, the wiring. Everything has to be redone. Expensive it is, but that's your job because you purchased the building. You're managing it for someone. I wouldn't even manage a building knowing it's caving in, it's a lots of problems, roaches, rats, whatever. Sorry, my company, we don't want any involvement because we are the faces that the people see and hear. So they're coming to us complaining and you're not giving any money to fix the place. And we're tired of the people coming to us saying, well, when are you going to do something? When are you going to do something? And then they have to say, well, I don't really own the building. I'm just managing it for someone. And a lot of you don't think about that when it comes to properties. When everybody's ranting and raving, running to the rental office, crying to the manager, they don't own the building. They're just sitting in there shuffling paper. And the company that they work for, they don't own the building sometimes. They are just managing it for a private citizen, if you did not know that. So you're talking about going through hula hoops and channels, renting property. It's probably one of the biggest hustles there is, property rental. I wouldn't live in nothing like this nowhere because it's too fucking old. And like I said, when you see a rat the size of a cat possum crawling across your floor in the hallway, it's time to go. So these people need to go apply to the city or go find another area of New York City or outside New York City and find somewhere else to live. Take pictures of the conditions and go to another housing authority or private rental company and try to find you something better. But you know the rent is very competitive in New York City. You're going to have to own something. And most of these people can't afford to own an apartment, condo. Yes, shut it down. The fact you've got 359 complaints for this one place in 2 years, that tells you something. Yet people are doctoring shit. Oh, ain't nothing wrong. We didn't find nothing wrong. Oh, I'm sure the city of New York could go in right now and probably find 300 things wrong. But somebody has to go in there and do due diligence. Bring an adequate report back and then send that report to the management company and the owner. This is what we found. You have this amount of time to fix it or we will start putting tape on this bad boy. And that means they can't get rent money because then the people will have to move out. But this is the new America. Everything's a hustle if you haven't noticed. Once again, Jay-Z, his case is going forward in the courts. The judge is also allowing the woman to remain anonymous. This case here I'm talking about is coming out of New York City. Wow, wow, wow. I brought you this information of this lady here who was stabbed in a motel in Kissimmee, Florida by this female here. She's facing a lot of charges and may get life in prison if found guilty by a jury. Her best bet is to go before the court, take an alpha plea, and let a judge decide her fate. I would not pick a jury, go before a jury. I don't recommend it. Queen's been watching a lot of these eviction videos the past 2 days, and they are the most interesting videos I have seen in a very long time. I do believe this guy that does these evictions out of Memphis, Tennessee, he's a process server. I think he quite likes his job because his titles are quite messy. You know? Tenant from Hell is released on bail, part 2. Just some of the titles are kind of negative. And I also want to talk about that too. How far are we going with this filming live events? Because I think an eviction is a private matter. Even though a process server goes to the location, they work for the court, but it's still not like the police unless the police is called. But still a lot of things that go on in America, we don't get to see it. We're not privy to that information unless it makes the news. Then they show us the body cam from the officers. But an eviction, it's like, Jesus, how far are we going to go with this reality TV? Just saying. Check my community page. I've got a lot of videos I've shared. This is just my history right here, things I've gone through. Videos I've watched or shimmied through. Also, I told you about the FBI warning us about the use of Android and iPhones. Chinese entities have hacked the phones and getting your personal information through your text messages. Never thought about that, but that's the latest events as well. Wow, wow, wow. Also, this guy has a video about tapping your debit card, that people can walk by and steal your information using the tap feature on the debit card machine. So now you don't need to be using the tap feature. Oh, Lord, every day it's something, is it not? It's always something. Just checking all my updates. I think that's it for now. I'll do something else. And I brought you content about Wendy Williams yesterday, publicly blasting her caregivers for leaving her scooter in the street. Also, I need to bring you this update pertaining to the nursing home. They're going to give you the names of the people who have been arrested. 2 are denied bond. It's the director and the nurse that were working at this nursing home. That was also in my live stream yesterday. Feel free to check it out in the YouTube queue. All movies are on my community page. If you would like to have something to watch this weekend, Damaged with Mr. Samuel Jackson. Very good thriller.
A judge denied bond for Kamisha Cottrell, a director of nursing, as well as Shakima Brewer, who was a night nurse. The Colonial Heights Deputy Commonwealth's attorney believes the 2 contributed to the conditions that ultimately led to this resident's death.
That's the #1 thing. That's right up there with kicking a puppy.
Family members with loved ones at Colonial Heights Rehabilitation and Nursing Home continue to react to the details coming out about the 74-year-old patient who was hospitalized and ultimately died due to inadequate care received at the facility. That's according to prosecutors.
Innocent babies.
On Friday, 2 of the 4 staff members who are facing felony charges appeared in court for the first time. A judge denied bond for both Kamisha Cottrell and Shakima Brewer. According to the Deputy Commonwealth's attorney, Kamisha Cottrell, the director of nursing, was responsible for ensuring staff was giving proper care and were properly trained. She alleges records were falsified, showing care was given to the resident who died when it wasn't. The prosecutor also claims training was not done for staff and claims Cottrell just had them sign off that it was. She claims Cottrell also told police she wasn't going to turn herself in when warrants were out for her arrest. The prosecutor claims Berber was the night nurse responsible for taking care of the resident the night before she was transported to the hospital. The prosecutor claims Berber was the night nurse responsible for taking care of the resident the night before she was transported to the hospital, where she later died. She alleges Brewer falsified records saying the resident's wounds were fine, intended to when they were not. She claims Cottrell also told police she wasn't going to turn herself in when warrants were out for her arrest. It was not done for staff and claims Cottrell just had them sign off that it was. She claims Cottrell also told police she wasn't going to turn herself in when...
How are you going to tell the police you're not going to turn yourself in? Please check out my video from yesterday pertaining to 18 arrests in this Colonial Heights, Virginia nursing home. As you see in the background, a 74-year-old woman is now dead from her wounds that went uncared for. She was not bathed. She ended up going into the hospital. She died later in the hospital. And now 18 people have been arrested. 4 for felony charges pertaining to the death of this woman. I do believe this woman is African American because you can see in the background the lady appears to be black, which is her daughter speaking of the atrocity that happened to her mother. She loves her mother, and she did not get adequate care. She also had concerns about the care for her mother that obviously went unnoticed, pushed under the rug, and now we have a dead lady. And what you have to ask yourself is how many more people were not getting adequate care, because that lady was not the only lady these people were allegedly supposed to be taken care of. So we have 18 arrests, 12 people made bond, 4 facing felony counts, 2 denied bond, and that's the nursing director and the night nurse. What are their races? Are they black, white, Hispanic? As you heard the director say, she ain't turning herself in. She wasn't gonna turn herself in. Well, where you at now? Where you at now? Exactly. Locked up.
When warrants were out for her arrest. The prosecutor claims Berber was the night nurse responsible for taking care of the resident the night before she was transported to the hospital, where she later died. She alleges Brewer falsified records saying the resident's wounds were fine, intended to when they were not. This family member had concerns for care about her loved one at the facility prior to the charges of 18 staff members.
The reason why I'm there so often is to oversee for my parent, making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I worry, are all of these people on the same page, following her care plan?
She said her concerns came over the last 6 months when she claims her loved one was hospitalized because the equipment they needed was not being used properly. She was so concerned she put in a request to get her loved one's records.
I wanted to see if they had notated that they had set her on that machine for those couple of nights, which I know they hadn't.
What is the machine that she was worried about not being used properly? Obviously, this woman knows how the machine works because obviously her mother has used the machine before. So what is the machine? The fact that this has been going on 6 months of her curious to the care of her mother, that's a slow burn. It's a slow burn to death because it doesn't take long to get dead. When you're already sick, you're in a nursing facility, and then you're not getting appropriate care, you're not getting bathed, then we have to wonder if she was getting any type of medicine, if she needed medicine. She's not getting appropriate wound care because she's not being turned, lifted, propped up properly, pillows, put on your side, rotated as you're supposed to. as not to get bed sores. Don't know if the woman could walk or not, talk or not. This woman here said she cared, she loves her parent. She was there. Now think about the people who don't have people coming in to see about them, check on them. They don't know what's under those covers. Well, it is murder. At this point, it is. That's why the two don't have bond. The nursing director and the night nurse. So if you did this to this lady, you're doing it to everybody else. Exactly. You're falsifying documents for other people as well, residents. Now all of you all are looking stupid without jobs. Who's going to hire you? Because you cannot work in the medical field. That's what was told to you in court. That's a part of the stipulation of the 18 warrants and those who were able to be served the warrants, the 12. The judge stipulated the other day, you cannot work in any medical capacity in the public, number one. You go back on the property of Colonial Heights Nursing Home, number two. And then there was another stipulation as well, number three. I can't remember what it was. But you'd be a fool to go back there. For what? The fact they were still working in the last news report I showed you. Working where? Another facility affiliated with this facility? Because obviously the reporter got that information from somewhere. Where were they working? I refuse to believe they just went and got a job the next day after being arrested. I don't believe that. So that means whoever owns this nursing home obviously maybe owns another facility somewhere in the general area, outside the general area, and they sent these hood rats to go work there. Stay woke, everybody. So now we got to ask, whoever owns this facility, how many do they own? How many other people are not getting adequate care in this facility? Will there be a lawsuit by this lady here for the death of her mother? I say yes. Will she win? I say yes. Will other people take their family members out? Hopefully they will. Also, this facility had the nerve to say, oh, we're not going to allow anybody else to come in as a patient. Well, thank you. We applaud you for that. We applaud you for that. Thank you for not allowing any other patients. What crazy person is getting ready to bring their mother, father, aunt, uncle in here? Grandparent. They have to be a fool. You're handing out death tickets at this nursing facility. Yes, Queen said that. You're handing out death tickets. Finally, somebody spoke up. But look at the cost. 6 months of wrangling with these hags, and now she has a dead mother. The mother's not coming back. What will happen to these 18 individuals? Have they arrested the remaining persons they are looking for? Because as I said, 12 bonded out of jail. So that left 6. Terrible story.
I complained to the nursing supervisor who knew that I was going to go off about it.
She ultimately didn't get those records because she had to pay for them.
Ricky.
She says she's now going to get them, especially when she claims one of her loved one's nurses is facing falsification record charges.
I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because my mother is one of the poor elderly. She's on Medicaid, Medicare, and, she's limited on the facilities that will accept those things.
A PR firm for the facility says they're not at liberty to discuss anything as the investigation is ongoing. They say, quote, "We are focused as always on the care of our residents."
Something just gotta change. I should be able to just freely come and visit with my mother, my parents. I wish I had more confidence in them.
Controller Director of Nursing spoke up during her hearing, saying that she didn't abuse anybody. And Brewer's attorney argued that it should wait until trial to be decided who is at fault in this case. In Richmond, I'm Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.
Richmond. I didn't hurt anybody. Well, this is the joy of people who lie and manipulate the system, abusing elderly people, children, it's all the same. The wounds will tell the story because they will have pictures of this dead woman's body in the courtroom. How about that? How about that? There will be pictures of this 74-year-old woman. There will be pictures of her room. There will be pictures of her linen if you didn't strip them down. Made the room look all nice and tidy. Threw away any sheets of blood stained, soil stained sheets, pillowcases. But they have the body. They have the pictures of her body and her wounds, her care, what they had to do to try to sustain life. That's not going to be make-believe. That's not going to be faux makeup for theatric purposes. So when you say, I didn't do anything wrong, I say you have a problem, both of you, all of you. And as this woman is saying here, pertaining to her deceased mother, what have you been doing? Obviously nothing. Falsifying records. This woman also asked to have records when she was complaining about the machinery not working properly. So this lady was on her job about her mother, as it seems, as it appears. But you have people who would not be asking any questions. Just walk in, see their loved one lying there, smelly, soiled. Don't check to see if they're bathed. Don't check to see anything. Don't care. Don't care. And sadly, there are people in nursing homes, they don't have visitors. They don't have people checking on them. They don't have people bringing them treats and food and cards, trying to take them out maybe for the day somewhere. And that's a sad situation to be in. And all of us are going to get older if God allows us to live, to be an elderly person. And you better pray you're going to be aware of your faculties. You're going to know your name. You're going to be able to use the restroom. You're going to be able to walk. You're going to be able to take a bath. You're going to be able to bathe yourself. So you don't know the hour that you will be a 74-year-old staying in a nursing home and relying on people to do right by you. Because that's a terrible place to be. It's dependent on someone. So when you become this age and needing to be in a care facility, you are now being back as a baby. You've gone back to being an infant, a child, a toddler. Somebody has to take care of you, look after you, feed you, bathe you, clothe you, dress you, give you your meds. I don't wish this on anybody. This is why you have to be careful how you treat people as well, because you don't know the shape you're going to end up. And a lot of people don't realize that when they're nasty and mean, veering off a little bit, but just bear with me. The same people you mistreat are usually the ones who have to look after you and make sure you get adequate care. Checkmate. You see it all the time. People who are not so nice in life become ill and sick, bedridden, and now the same people they mistreated in life are trying to maneuver their care. Boy, that's got to be a hell of a place to be. On both ends, I would say. What is going to become of these 18 people? Have they arrested the remaining people? 2 are denying the allegations against them, the charges. The night nurse and the director of nursing. Are they African-American women? What are the races of the people, the patients? Predominantly Black, white, Hispanic? What's the ratio? Just curious. I was looking at a video where this woman was watching the people in the parking lot. I think it was a cop talking to somebody, and the Black lady was walking by just staring and looking crazy. And I was looking at her like, what are you looking at? You coming out this place, do you work here? Because, you know, they were checking people when they were coming into work in their cars to make sure their name wasn't on the warrant list. How crazy is that for an officer to be standing with a clipboard with your name on it for a warrant? And you're coming into work Just imagine your name is on that damn list. You have no idea what the hell is going on. Hi, can you stop your car for a minute, please? Checking all the employees' names. Wouldn't you be saying, why? Why do you need my name? Why are you checking our names? Oh, we just need to have your names. Because you know the police ain't gonna tell you nothing. And you give your name. Yeah, I'm Betty Sue Jones. Okay, Betty Sue Jones, can you pull over here? Pull your car over here, please. And then next thing you know, they go to your car and arrest you. Shut your mouth. Wow, 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 wow. This is my advice for anybody with a relative in this home, friend. Get them out. Because you don't have any guarantee that the next staff is going to be any better. And the fact that the nursing home had the nerve to give a comment that they had already replenished the staff, I already know that's bullshit. Because the story had just broke. There's no way you had replenished the staff and they had 18 people with warrants. So I don't believe that. And I don't believe these people are in adequate care. Okay? I don't believe these people are in adequate care. And like I said, you can go hire 18 more people. It doesn't mean these people are going to be in good hands. I personally believe the place should be shut down and these people need to be removed and put in other places if possible. Or somebody needs to take these people in. Take them home with you. I get it. It's a hard job taking care of the elderly. I've done it for years, and it is hard work. The very reason why people like me have to work, because people don't want to take care of their family members for whatever reason. So it's left up to nurses, CNAs, caregivers to step in the gap. Some people don't want to be in a nursing home. They rather just peacefully go at their own home. But everybody's not in that predicament. Because you still got to have some form of care. Even if you decide you're sickly in hospice and you want to, be at your home, somebody still needs to bathe you, feed you, look after you. As I said, this is a terrible place to be as an elderly person. But you also can go into a nursing facility and be a young person, 50-year-old, 30-year-old, may have a car accident, might be in a coma. It could be all type of reasons that you go into nursing facility and a rehab center. We do have younger people who are in nursing homes, sadly. What is going to become of this nursing facility? Will it shut down? Will it shut down? I think it should be shut down. But once again, the flip side, these people need somewhere to go, but you can't have them staying in a facility that's not properly ran because somebody has been doctoring records and somebody's been giving the okay for these nurses and staff to not take care of the patients. So you see, it's stair-step. It's the nursing director. It's the night nurse. Then you also got the caregivers, CNAs, who are going into the rooms. So they're all evenly yoked. So it's not just one person responsible, because you got one person signing off on the paperwork, which is the director. You got the night nurse signing off on what the CNAs are supposed to be doing. Then you got the CNAs who are supposed to be cleaning and taking care of the people, lifting them up, bathing, putting on diapers, keeping them clean. And you're lying. So it's stair-step. Many people are responsible, as they should be. And if you don't like this kind of work, you should find you something else to do. And that goes back to the other story, which is my main story, about the delivery driver. You don't want to deliver things, food, then stop. You don't like the tips you're getting, not getting, then stop. You're tired of waiting for your food, stop ordering food. You're not getting your packages from FedEx, UPS, same thing. Stop ordering online. You have the control, and that's what many Americans don't seem to understand about being an adult. When you see things are not working in your favor, you don't like the service you're getting, receiving, then bow out. You don't have to beat up the FedEx driver because the package was late, stolen, not delivered, damaged. You don't have to beat up the person because they gave you a $2 tip return with a knife and a gun. Now you're facing life in prison over a fucking $2 tip and a bad attitude from the person that ordered a pizza. And the fact the woman was pregnant, don't know if she's still pregnant, that's another thing. Did she lose the child? Is she still pregnant? Will there be complications from all these health issues? See, you could be charged for her losing her baby if she loses her baby. Just 1 month in. Stay woke. What if the woman had died? Then that'd have been murder times 2. All over a $2 tip. But as the woman said in the video, she thinks it's more than that, than a robbery or a $2 tip, because the boyfriend offered them more money and where to find it, but they didn't take it. So is that true? And is there something to that comment that this was personal? I don't know. But I know each person could have bowed out of the situation, no matter what the other person said. Delivery driver had an attitude. All you had to do was take the pizza, give her the tip, shut the door. She returned. You didn't have to open the door. That's why I said this story doesn't make any sense. Why would I open the door to a complete stranger, number one? Number two, why would I open the door to a person who just delivered a pizza hours ago and we had words? Who does this? So maybe this victim is not telling us everything. Is there more to the story? As someone in the chat said, the girl who did the assaulting had gang tattoos on her face. I did see tattoos, but I didn't zoom in to see what set it was, how she rocked, blah, blah, blah. Related. What's the truth? I don't know. But I know this is bad business. So I'm going to say this to anyone listening. Once again, if you have a problem with delivery services, you are impatient, I advise you not to order online. Do not order food services. Don't order an Uber. Don't order a Lyft. Don't order a ride share. Don't order food. Don't be a delivery driver. That's my advice. You know yourself and anybody. You know you don't have the temperament to deal with the public. Then find you another job. Find you a job where you can sit at home and work on a computer, putting in information in the computer where you don't even have to talk to anybody. You don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to receive phone calls. Do data entry. Because everybody's not cut out for public service. You have seen with all the many, many videos uploaded to social media of people wilding out, cussing and fussing about their hamburger wasn't cooked. Somebody forgot the French fries. The steak wasn't done well enough, whatever. It's time for everybody to get some act right in them. Because life is short and you don't want to end up incarcerated or doing a lot of time or getting life in prison because you wowed it out and you took someone's life. Because in the end, it's just a pizza. It's just a burger. It's just a package. It's your money. I get it. But as I said, you have the control over the decision to buy, purchase, so on and so forth. Everything's a choice. Happy holidays to everyone. God bless you. Stay safe. Be aware of your surroundings, what you post on social media pertaining to your purchases. Be careful of scheme scams by phone, the internet, text messages on your phone. Don't answer unknown calls. Don't respond. Don't open links on the computer or your phone. You don't know the number, don't even answer. Check it. If they leave a voicemail, fine. It ain't nobody you know, delete, block, keep it moving. That's how you avoid all scams. And be careful what you post pertaining to what you bought, flat screens, trips you're taking. People are out, they're on the hunt, they're busy, they're savages. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big 129, Cash App, stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Keep the dream alive. Like, share, subscribe. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Have not uploaded anything in over a week on that network, but when I comment, you get a notification and you can read the Queen's comment under a given article. Once again, happy holidays, happy new year to everyone. Please come back and join the Queen on this network for stimulating content and commentary. I will probably come back later and shoot the SHIT with you guys on some crazy nonsense. We're going to talk about some other things. I think I want to talk about social media. How far are we going with filming people when things go wrong? Is it time that we stop grabbing the cell phone and filming every little altercation and uploading it for likes, views? Because I think things are starting to get a little out of control with the pulling the cell phone out. Now, if you're doing some business with somebody and you need verification of the transaction, yes, I can see you pulling out your phone to film. But do we need to film other people's business and uploading it to social media? And God forbid, making it a TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat video, IG. That's my commentary. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Happy holidays.